Hello and welcome to a new episode on Sadhana World Foundation. We have been talking about real incidents, events from our day to day lives. Almost every day, we are stuck between various alternatives which look equally compelling for us. A child has studies to complete, and one of his favorite shows is running on the television. What does the child do? Does he make some compromises between studies and enjoyment? At work, we know sometimes what's the right thing to do, yet we choose not to speak up because that's the norm at that workplace. We end up supporting something what we know is not right. We have seen many a times people are stuck between fulfilling the responsibility of a good child and of being a good spouse, isn't it? As a spouse, you need to fulfill certain responsibilities, and as a child, you need to fulfill certain responsibilities. Sometimes those forces are in different directions. You can't choose both of them at the same point in time. Like the child cannot study and watch television at the same point in time. Dip into our lessons in history, dip into some of the texts given in mythology. Let's pick up one character, Mahatma Gandhi, a tall character from Indian independence movement. At that point in time, he had to deal with so many opposing ideologies, ideas, suggestions. Different groups of people had their very strong opinions. Yet he had to navigate through all of these, and almost throughout his life, he stayed committed to the principles that he believed in. Think of Ramayana. Character Ram, Lord Ram, in one situation, he succumbs to the pressure of his wife, Sita, who spots a golden deer in front of their house, and he and Sita coaxes Ram to go catch that deer. Ram not sure if the golden deer is real, but he chooses to go with Sita's suggestions. He knows that desiring something which is unreal is a bad thing to do. But he doesn't talk about it to Sita at that point in time. He chooses to go with Sita's requests. And the same character, Ram, a few months before, has already dismissed the advances made by the demoness Shurpanakha in the guise of a very lovely, beautiful young lady. He doesn't fall prey to the path of desire. The same character, in one situation, he stays steadfast on what's right for him. He chooses not to fall into the trap of desire. In another situation, he falls into the trap of desire laid by various forces which acted on his mind at that point in time. Think of same Ram in another situation. He has killed Ravan, he has become the king of Ayodhya again, and he is prospering, his kingdom is prospering. The public opinion at that point of time, unfortunately, is slowly developing about the character of Sita. People are questioning what Sita did while she was away from Ram in Ravan's kingdom. Ram should have possibly ignored this opinion or made some campaign to change this opinion. However, he chose to follow the social norms at that point in time, and he chooses to become a good king to show that he will make personal sacrifices. He will make huge amount of renunciation or tyaga to send Sita away from the kingdom. He wanted to set an example as a king that certain kind of social norm has to be established, has to be respected. He chooses to become a good king and he chooses to become a bad husband. In one perspective, you can think that he acted like an animal. In the jungle, the predator tricks the prey and kills it. Ram almost did something similar. He tricked Sita and sent her away from the palace. Of course, he didn't give her consent. She was not consulted. She didn't know that she is being sent away from the palace. Ram did all of this. Did he do the right thing? Questions. Let's move to Mahabharata, where Arjun is in the middle of the battleground. He is one of the greatest warriors of his time. He is brave, he is courageous, he has won several wars in his life, and he is standing in the battlefield to establish law and order. He deeply believes that he and his brothers have been dealt with injustice, and he wants to change that by defeating the enemy in front of him. However, he goes through a dharma sankat at that point in time, or moral dilemma at that point in time, and he questions whether fighting the battle is worth it. He thinks that he is fighting this battle for his personal gain and whether it is really worth it. He asks deep questions. He proposes to make huge sacrifices. He proposes to renunciate his life, and he discusses this with his friend, guide, philosopher, coach, mentor, Lord Sri Krishna. And then Sri Krishna explains him that renunciation is good, sacrifice is good, staying steadfast on the path of knowledge is good, ahimsa or non-violence is good. All of these are noble qualities. However, you need to figure out what's the right thing for you to do at this point in time. There are many right things to do. There are innumerable or numerous wrong things to do. He says that if you follow the path of sacrifice at this point in time, you go away from the battlefield, you don't use this opportunity of establishing law and order, then you will be doing something which is wrong. That's what Sri Krishna explains. Arjun understands, and Arjun starts fighting the battle. So, ladies and gentlemen, all these four things that we discussed are confusing, isn't it? At one point in time, somebody chooses path A, and on another point in time, the same character chooses path B, which seem to be contradicting to it. So if you think a little more about it, you will know that something what's right stays right in a particular context. So it's about finding that balance in our mind, that what's the right thing to do at this point in time. All of us will be subjected to forces and influences from multiple directions at any point in time. The choice that we make is based on the balance that we achieve. What do we balance? How do we balance makes us different as human beings. Thank you for watching this intense episode, and thank you for reflecting on this. Thank you for discussing this amongst many more people and deciding what's the right balance to achieve in life. Look forward to our future conversations.